Welcome to the Tirumantiram Satsang. The grace of our Guru and Tirumular. We will start the Satsang with verse 417. உற்று வனைவான் அவனே உலகினை பெற்று வனைவான் அவனே பிறவியை சுற்றிய சாலும் குடமும் சிறு தூதை மற்றும் அவனே வனைய வல்லானே. உற்று வனைவான். வனைவான் is to make. வனையர், pot maker, whoever makes it. Making is called வனைவான் in Tamil. So, உற்று வனைவான் அவனே. He is the creator of this. உற்று வனைவான் அவனே உலகினை. He created this world, this universe. பெற்று வனைவான் அவனே பிறவியை பெற்று வனைவான். He who makes the life to happen in this universe. He is the creator of all these multitude of beings, life forms. சுற்றிய சாலும் குடமும் சிறு தூதை மற்றும் அவனே. சிறு தூதை means small part. சுற்றிய Saal means big part. He is the microcosm and the macrocosm. அவனே வனைய வல்லானே. He is the, in essence it means that he is the creator of this whole universe and all the animate and inanimate. Everything, it is filled with his energy. He is in everything. That is the essence of verse 417. 418. உள் உயிர்ப்பாய் உடலாகி நின்றான் நந்தி வெள் உயிராகும் வெளியான் இலங்கு ஒளி உள் உயிர்க்கும் உணர்வே உடலுட்பறந்து தள் உயிராவண்ணம் தாங்கி நின்றானே. உள் உயிர்ப்பாய் உடலாகி நின்றான் நந்தி. Tirumular, in some verses, he talks about Shiva and Nandi. In Shiva, he talks about the supreme consciousness, and Nandi as his guru. Ulvuyirpai udalahi nindran Nandi. He is the life force, and he operates this body. வெள் உயிராகும் வெளியான் இலங்கு ஒளி உள் உயிர்க்கும் உணர்வே உடலுட்பறந்து தள் உயிராவண்ணம் தாங்கி நின்றானே. There are 9 holes in this body. So, in any of these holes, the life force will quit. And for some, at the time of death, you will say that he looked like that. I saw his life exit through his eyes. We have heard all those tales. As for some, through mouth, through eyes. For some yogis, it is through the Brahmarantram, the body, the life force will exit. So, there are 9 holes. This part, which is great, which is a gift given to us, this part has 9 holes. But the life force is contained in this body. What is the force which is supporting this? So, what is the force which is preventing the life force to exit from the body? When at the appropriate time only it exits. It should happen every day. It should happen. No, it doesn't happen. Though he is Nandi, he is the one who has given this body. He has given us an opportunity to realize the supreme being in this body using all the faculties which we are endowed with. So, the life force can fit in any of the holes, but he holds the life force without letting it go out of the 9 gateways. When the time comes, he lets it go out. So, at the time of death also, only the supreme being determines the time. So, nothing is in our hand. As long as we are operating in this body, we should make best use of it. Now let us go to 419 verse. தாம் கரும் தன்மையும் தானவை பல்லுயிர் வாங்அய காலத்து மற்றோர் பிறிதில்லை. ஓங்கி எழுமைக்கும் யோகாந்தம் அவ்வழி தாங்கி நின்றானும் அத்தாரணி தானே. தாங்கரும் தன்மையும் தானவை பல்லுயிர் வாங்கய காலத்து மற்றோர் பிறிதில்லை. தாங்கரும் தன்மையும் means he who holds the life force in the body, and when at the appropriate time, at the time of death, he lets the life force leaves the body. Till then, it is he who guards and protects all the living beings. And for the வாங்கய காலத்து மற்றோர் பிரிதில்லை, there is nobody else who protects. He is in this body as guiding you, protecting you till the life force leaves the body. ஓங்கி எழுமைக்கும் யோகாந்தம் அவ்வழி. Those jnanis who takes the yogic path, யோகாந்தம் அவ்வழி. ஓங்கி எழுமைக்கும், எழுமை means 7 births. That it is believed that jnanis who have realized their self, or even the subsequent 7 generations, will be protected. Not only them, their generation will be protected by the divine light. So here, even for the jnanis who through their yogic practices realize the self, it is he who protects them. So, and தாங்கி நின்றானும் அத்தாரணி தானே. He is one who is protecting. தாங்கி தார் அணி தாங்கி இருந்தானே, தாங்கி நின்றானே. So he is protecting all the beings. 420. அணுகினும் சேயவன், அணுகினும் சேயவன். அங்கீர் கூடி, அங்கி means fire. அங்கீர் கூடி நணுகினும் ஞானக் கொழுந்து ஒன்று நல்கும் பணியினும் பார்மிசை பல்லுயிராகி தனியினும் மண்ணுடல் அண்ணல் செய்வானே. அணுகினும் சேயவன். He is in the body as life force. அணுகினும் சேயவன், அங்கீர் கூடி நணுகினும் ஞானக் கொழுந்தொன்று நல்கும் பணியினும் பார்மிசை பல்லுயிராகி. பார்மிசை பல்லுயிர், he is all the life force, so many multitude of creations in this universe. He is the one who is making them come to this earth, come in this form. So he is there as the supreme consciousness in this body. அணுகினும் சேயவன், அங்கீர் கூடி நணுகினும் ஞானக் கொழுந்தொன்று நல்கும். அங்கீர் கூடி means, angi means fire. Where is the fire? The fire is in the Mooladhara. For the jnanis who takes the yogic path, and when the life energy rises through the from the Mooladhara to the Sahasrara, what the jnanis is, they see him as the effulgent light. He grants that vision to them. படியினும் பார்மிசை பல்லுயிராகி. In this world, he is there as whatever life forms we see, it is him. தனியினும் மண்ணுடல் அண்ணல் செய்வானே. But as he also gives us this body, this body, annal செய்வான். He is the body and he is the life force which operates the body. And he helps them to take birth in the, so many life forms are there we are seeing. So in all the species, he is the one who is existing. 421. அங்கி செய்து ஈசன் அகலிடம் சுட்டது. Again here அங்கி means the fire. ஈசன் அகலிடம் சுட்டது. அங்கி செய்து ஈசன் அலைக்கடல் சுட்டது. அங்கி செய்து ஈசன் அசுரரை சுட்டது. அங்கி அவ்வீசற்கு கை அம்புதானே. Kai ambudane means the maru, the what do you call them? What Shiva holds, his weapon. Through his weapon, what he said, what he did, Angi Said. So here in these verses he talks about the Shiva's samhara, Srishti Sthiti samhara. That is how he is destroying, the destruction. Angi செய்து ஈசன் அகலிடம் சுட்டது. So he destroyed the whole world through the fire. He ignited the fire and destroyed the whole world. அங்கி செய்து ஈசன் அலைக்கடல் சுட்டது. Through this fire he drained the whole sea. அங்கி செய்து ஈசன் அசுரரை சுட்டது. He destroyed the asuras. In the Tripura, in the earlier verses we saw Tripurasura, all the asuras he destroyed. So actually the inner meaning of this is internally he burns the lower tendencies. Angi செய்து ஈசன் அகலிடம் சுட்டது. And what are the lower tendencies? Unless we come over our desires, cross our whatever impurities we have, we cannot ascend the spiritual path. He burns the lower tendencies and burning the asuras, all the mummalas, the ego, ignorance, all this he destroys and raises the energy and make us realize him. That is the through his grace he takes compassion on the jivas. We are struggling to progress in the spiritual path. We seek his guidance. Then he comes and destroys all the lower tendencies and make us raise and make us drop our ego, and so that we are established in his self, in the universal self. That is the meaning of 421. 422. Ilayangal, layam means Srishti Sthiti Laya. Laya means the what to say, the union or dissolution. That is where everything stops. You are merged with that. லயங்கள் மூன்றினும் ஒன்று கற்பாந்த நிலையன்று இழிந்தமை நின்று உணர்ந்தேனால் உலை தந்த மெல்லறி போலும் உலகம் மலை தந்த மாநிலம் தான் வெந்ததுவே. Layam means manolayam. We have seen, when you are totally absorbed in the music, you don't know what is happening. When you are absorbed in some creative work, when absorbed in some talks, when absorbed in nature, what happens? The mind stops. There is a laya there. When you do japa also, you get this manolaya. So, and when you are hearing the sound, then it is called nada laya. You are one with the nada. You are one with the beauty of the scenery. So these are the layas that happens. Mellari polum, ulai tanda mellari polum. Mellari means the fine rice. How the rice is cooked in the pot. When the rice gets cooked in the pot, it is thrown here and there. Then it is burnt and then it is cooked. So that is லயங்கள் மூன்றினும் ஒன்று கற்பாந்த நிலை. கற்பாந்த நிலை means at the time of pralaya there is a dissolution. So at the time of pralaya the whole world gets destroyed. So realize that. How I realize that is, I have seen it as a fine rice which is cooked in the pot. Like that, at the time of pralaya, the mountains will be shaken, and we are seeing that happening in parts of the world. So the mountains will shake, and then the sea will rise, and everything will destroy. So that is one pralaya. And another pralaya is when the life force leaves the body. That also, at that time also, everything gets destroyed. Your mind, your body, everything gets destroyed, and there is only awareness. So these are all the pralayas Shiva is employing. 423. பதம் செய்யும் பாரும் பணிவரை எட்டும் உதம் செய்யும் ஏழ்கடல் ஓதம் முதலாம் குதம் செய்யும் அங்கி கொழுவி ஆகாச விதம் செய்யும் நெஞ்சில் வியப்பில்லை தானே. Padam Sheyum Par means the world. Padam means goodness. It is making them happy. Padam Sheyum Parum, this word. It makes the life forces take birth, take a body, and then they are happily living in this world. Panivarai ettum. Panivarai means there are 8 mountains that also helps them, helps the living beings to life forces to sustain on this earth. And kadal, there are 7 seas. So all these things, it is created by him to help the humanity. Kudam Sheyyum Angi Kojuvi. For us, when you look at the mountain, when you look at the sea, when you look at the nature, you are so immersed. You wonder how all these things came, how the mountain doesn't fall, how the sea doesn't. I mean, it is in their, as long as they are in their respective places, as long as they are in their positions, there is no destruction. How it all happens? What is the intelligence which is holding all these things together? On one side, mountains, fire, and water, all how they coexist. What is the force? All of us wonder. But for the jnanis, kudam sheyyum angi koluvi, that is the aluvi, angi means the fire, we said. Kudam is the above the anus, that is the Mooladhara. That is from this Mooladhara, they ignite the fire, yogic fire, and they reach the Akasa, reach the Sahasrara. For them, nothing surprises them, because they have realized in themselves that all these are his play, and they are so immersed in the bliss of the divine bliss, the supreme consciousness. 424. கொண்டல் வரை நின்று இழிந்த குலக்கொடி அண்டத்துள் ஊறி இருந்து என் திசை ஆதி ஒன்றின் பதம் செய்த ஓம் என்ற அப்புற குண்டத்தின் மேல் அங்கி கோலிக்கொண்டானே. கொண்டல் வரை நின்று, that is the rain-laden clouds, that is dark clouds. Before it pours down, how the clouds gather, that is the kundal. Kundathin melangi. Kundam means here the body, the pit for the yogic fire. The kundam means the homa kunda, wherein physically we ignite the fire and do homas and everything. The same homa is the Mooladhara here. The Mooladhara, the fire gets ignited and rises to reach the Sahasrara. And then what happens? Kundathin mel angi kolik kondane. At the time of the fire is ignited and it rises, கொண்டல் வரை நின்று இழிந்த குலக்கொடி அண்டத்துள் ஊறி இருந்து. What? There is a blissful energy pours down from the top to the whole body and enters all the cells, and all the cells are soaked in divine bliss. And ஒன்றின் பதம் செய்த ஓம், then this is the internal meaning. And that time that from the anahata we hear the om, the pranava. That is the yogic experience. That about that is Tirumala is telling in this 424 verse. 425. நித்த சங்காரம் உறக்கத்து நீள் மூடம் வைத்த வைத்த சங்காரமும் சாக்கிரா அதீதமாம். சுத்த சங்காரம் தொழிலற்ற கேவலம், உய்த்த சங்காரம் பரன் அருள் உண்மையே. நித்த சங்காரம், சங்காரம் means that is ஒடுக்கம் we call it how there is total dissolution. நித்த சங்காரம் உறக்கத்து நீள்முடம். For us the daily sankaram what is the dissolution happens when we go in deep sleep. When there is deep sleep, there is no body, there is no mind, there is no world, there is nothing. Only when you wake up, when the I thought comes, then the whole world springs up. So this is the daily happening. வைத்த சங்காரமும் சாக்கிரா அதீதமாம். வைத்த சங்காரமும் சாக்கிரா அதீதமாம். The second sankaram happens in deep meditation, when we lose the awareness of body and the mind, and when you transcend the body limitations, then there is a dissolution. There is no movement. That is stillness. That is sakra athitamam. Suddha sankaram tholilathra kevalam. Where you are still. We have seen some beings around the temple and all that. That is, they'll be still. They won't do anything. They will just exist. There is no movement, or they won't do any work. Suddha sankaram tholilathra kevalam. There is no action. Without any action, they'll just be sitting. Vitta sankaram, these are all the different sankarams he is talking about in this dissolution. Vitta sankaram paran arul. Actually, what is the highest sankaram? That is when you are immersed in the divine consciousness. This is the highest dissolution. Verse 426. நித்த சங்காரம் இரண்டு உடல் நீவுதல். வைத்த சங்காரமும் மாயாள் சங்காரமாம். சுத்த சங்காரம் மனாதீதம் தோய்வித்தல். உய்த்த சங்காரம் சிவன் அருள் உண்மையே. நித்த சங்காரம் இரண்டு உடல் நீவுதல். நித்த means daily. On daily basis we are sleeping. When we are sleeping, that is the sthula, we won't feel the body. The sukshma sarira will travel, and we experience dream. We experience some travels. We are going to this place, seeing someone. All these things happen in the sukshma sarira. So இரண்டு உடல் நீவுதல், two bodies, leaving the sthula and the sukshma. In deep sleep, there is only you don't feel anything. You don't remember even the dream state. There is no dream state also. That is nitta sangaram. That is daily it happens. Vaitha sangaramum mayal sangaramam. At the time of death, Vaitha sangaramum mayal sangaramam. At the time of death, what happens? The life force leaves the body, and then also you don't know, you don't feel your body, you don't feel your mind, but there is awareness, and and the soul leaves the body and takes birth, or be there in that state according to one's own merits and demerits. So that is one sankaram. That is dissolution. Suddha sankaram manadidam thoivittal. When the mind and the senses are stilled, even at times when you hear a shocking news, what happens? There is stillness. For a moment you don't know where you are standing, you don't feel your body, you don't feel your mind. But that is only temporary. By manodhitam thoivittal means the mind doesn't operate, mind becomes still. That happens on some momentary basis, And for some people who are practicing this yogic practices, they will experience that state. But even those sankhara, that is not permanent, that happens, and again you come into this, you have this body consciousness, and as a consequence of that, you experience the pain and pleasure, everything. With the Sangaram, Shivan Arulunme. What is the highly ideal Sangaram? That is when you transcend the body mind limitations and immerse in the Shiva's grace, immerse in Shiva's compassion, Shiva's grace, merge with him. That is the ideal state, says Tirumantiram. In the subsequent verses also, he elaborates that. 427. Nitta sangaram karu idar நீக்கினால் ஒத்த சங்காரம் உடல் உயிர் நீவுதல் வைத்த சங்காரம் கேவலம் ஆன்மாவுக்கு வித்த சங்காரம் சிவமாகும் உண்மையே. நித்த சங்காரம் கரு இடர் நீக்கினால். If one could cross the cycle of birth and death, Karu means birth, the womb, without taking birth in a body. If one could how you can achieve that? Only when a seed is roasted, it won't sprout again. In day-to-day life, we would have observed that. If anything is roasted, it won't come. Like that, when your karma gets roasted in the yogic fire, then all your karmas will be burned, and you won't take this body again and again. So, Nitta Sangaram Karu Idar Nikinal. If you could cross the cycle of birth and death, Mutta Sangaram Udal Uyir Nivudal. This is another Sangaram is when the life force leaves the body. வைத்த சங்காரம் கேவலம் ஆன்மாவுக்கு வித்த சங்காரம் சிவமாகும் உண்மையே. When the mind and body transcends the limitations and merge with the Shiva consciousness, then you become one with Shiva. That is the highest sangaram, highest dissolution one should seek. Vaita sangaram kevalam aanmavirku. For the souls, these two sangarams are given. That is the nitya sangaram at the time of sleep, and vatta sangaram udal uyir neevudal, when the spirit leaves the body. These two sangarams are common. But with the sangaram sivamagam, when you transcend the body mind limitations and the energy rises to the Sahasrara, and when you become one with the Supreme Consciousness, then you become Shivam. That is the ideal Sangaram one should seek. 427. Verse 428. Nitta Sangaramum நீடு இளைப்பாற்றுதல். means resting, relaxing, you can say. நித்த சங்காரமும் நீடு இளைப்பாற்றுதல். வைத்த சங்காரமும் மண்ணும் அனாதி means ancient. There is no beginning. Anadi, no beginning and no end. That's straight. வைத்த சங்காரமும் மண்ணும் அனாதியில் சுத்த சங்காரமும் தோயா பரன் அருள் வைத்த சங்காரமும் நாலாம் மதிக்கிலே. நித்த சங்காரமும் நீடு இளைப்பாற்றுதல். That is, on a daily basis, while in deep sleep, there is a sangaram, there is a dissolution. You don't feel your body, mind, everything in deep sleep. Even the world disappears. But that is temporary. But next day again you get up, you get rejuvenated and wake up fresh, and again this sankaram happens. Vaitha sankaramum mannum anadiyil. When the mind and senses are stilled, that time also you experience that, but that is also temporary. Again, the mind operates when the senses come back with more force. You experience the world. There is no permanent dissolution there. Sutta Sangaramum Toya Paran Arul Vaita Sangaramum Nala Madikile. What is the highest is? Highest is the Suddha Sankaram. When we are immersed in divine consciousness, that is the highest Sankaram, dissolution, the Jiva should take. 429. பாழே முதலா எழும்பயிர் அவ்விடம் பாழே அடங்கினும் பண்டைப்பாழ் ஆகாவாம் வாழாச் சங்காரத்தின் மால் அயன் செய்தியாம் பாழாம் பயிராய் அடங்கும் அப்பாழிலே. Here again and again Tirumular uses the word pal. Pal means what to say? That is space. Vettaveli, Suddhaveli. Pal is emptiness, space. Pale mudala ilumpayir. That is with the grace of Shiva, the Chidahasa, the souls, the crop, you call payir means crop. It is the human, the souls are equal to the crop. How the crop grows, when the land is fertile, like that. When in the consciousness, these souls rise up. அப்பயிர் பாழாய் அடங்கினும் பண்டைப்பாழ் பாழாகா. அப்பயிர் பாழா அடங்கினும், and for a short time the mind is still, there is no movement inside. But this doesn't equal to the emptiness which happens when everything is still and the higher consciousness takes over. Pazhe adanginum. So even pandai pal aha. So when the mind is stilled, there is no movement inside, isn't it? But it doesn't equal to the this is only a temporary thing again. When it is not equal to the emptiness which one experiences. Emptiness means it is not actually empty, it is fully potent. That emptiness, in that emptiness, Sar talks about that shunya again and again in many talks, if you hear that. So in that emptiness, it is which contains everything, which is full. That is not the emptiness one experiences when the mind distilled for a short time. So when the higher consciousness takes over, the emptiness you experience and the joy you experience cannot be equated to the state when the mind is stilled for a short time. So this is the job. Mal ayan saidiya. Mal means Tirumal, ayan means Brahma. When this is the job of Lord Vishnu and Brahma, who creates and sustains this world. As long as this creation goes, this dissolution of daily sleep and temporary stillness, all these things happen because it is their job. வாழா சங்காரத்தின் மால் அயன் செய்தியாம் பாழாம் பயிரும் பாழாம் பயிராய் அடங்கும் அப்பாழிலே. Only when the ego is annihilated, ego is destroyed, and the soul merges in supreme consciousness, then you can cross the cycle of birth and death, and there comes the final dissolution. That is, you won't be born again. That is the verse of 428 and 429.